Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and we give you the non-biased information you can use to hopefully capitalize on the biggest opportunity in history, and that is this current bull run. Now guys, in this video, I'm just going to rant away about gaming and about crypto in general, but I promise you there's going to be a lot of alpha in this video. Now I wish I was the kind of guy that could lay out all my information from my deep dives, put it into a great sophisticated video, but I'm not that guy, and quite frankly I do my research for me and I share with my community. But I just watched a video that really kind of got under my skin about Superverse, a guy who is really biased about his world changing project that he is in love with, and he did a review on Superverse, and guys, he just doesn't get it. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about how influencers can make you FOMO into a project, and they just don't understand the game. Now I'm not here to FUD on all the crypto influencers, but guys, there's two types of influencers. There's guys that have merit in what they say, and they're growing their channels and they provide alpha, and you should listen to them. Hopefully I'm one of those guys, but if I'm not, hey, I understand. But the other influencers are the guys that tell you what they want, tell you what you want to hear, and they just FOMO in. They get you to FOMO into their favorite project. And a lot of times, guys, I see and hear influencers talk about, oh wow, this project, it's faster, it's more scalable, it can do whatever. Well guys, they don't understand the game. First of all, this bull run is not about projects that are going to be the future. We're not placing that bet. We are in a bull run where a token can be hyped up of what the future may look like. Will it be the future? Not it is going to be the future. And so it's speculation, and it's fueled by hype, and it's fueled by a lot of influencers and big adoption and partnerships and things like that. And when I hear influencers talk about different projects that they're biased about and telling you how it's better tech and whatever, well guys, they don't understand the number one metrics that you need to use when you decide to invest in a crypto, and that is the probability. Now what am I talking about? I'm talking about if you put $10,000 in any project, it doesn't matter what project it is, whether it's Superverse or Citus Heroes or XRP or Solana or whatever, at the end of this bull run, which project made you the most money? That's all I care about. I'm not placing 10-year bets about which layer one is going to be the future. If I had to guess, it'd be Bitcoin's ecosystem and Ethereum's ecosystem. But I'm not placing that bet. At the end of this bull run, I will be out of every project that I'm currently into outside of Bitcoin. I won't sell my Bitcoin unless it just goes parabolic, and I might think about selling it. That being said, I'm going to just go ahead and rant away in this video, but I'm going to give you a lot of alpha about gaming, and then a lot of alpha that transfers into crypto, the game we are playing. Guys, it's still the Wild West, and even though you may not have been in 10 years ago, you are extremely early to crypto if you're watching this video, and there are life-changing gains to be had, but you have to understand the manipulation. You have to understand the game. And no matter what, guys, understand probabilities, right? Anyway, go ahead and hit that like button. let's dive into the alpha I want to share with you guys. Now, guys, I know that I don't deliver stuff politically correct. For instance, even when I was in college, my friends told me I need a filter. But look, I'm just going to throw it out there, and whether someone doesn't like it or it hurts their feelings or they don't want to hear it or it contradicts whatever they say, I promise you, anything I tell you on this channel has merit, and I'll be glad to debate any point that I bring to your attention. And one thing, guys, when you try to figure out who to listen to, and hopefully you do your own research, but when you're trying to figure out who to listen to, don't you think you need to follow the insiders or the big players or Wall Street or the big governments or the central banks? Figure out what they're doing, because it doesn't matter what me and you like. It doesn't matter that something has really low gas fees. You know, I hear all the time how, you know, Bitcoin's slow, Ethereum's gas fees are too big, and it's too slow. So what? Guys, we're not betting on just that token. You're betting on the ecosystem, right? So pick your favorite layer one, and you say, well, it's 10 times faster than, say, Ethereum, and twice as cheap or 100 times cheaper. Okay, well, compare that to Matic and Arbitrum and Optimism. Compare their ecosystem, right? Because that is Ethereum. People just don't get it. So when you start comparing any layer one, for instance, to Ethereum's ecosystem, well, it probably won't hold up when it comes to adoption of the big money and to its ecosystem. There are layer twos that can outscale almost every layer one out there. Well, that feeds down to Ethereum. It's just the security layer. Anyway, like I said, guys, I'm just going to rant away, but I'm going to bring 3 projects to your attention in gaming, and we're going to take a look at the charts. And guys, this is a lot of alpha, and it may not make you the most money in gaming or in crypto, but it will probably save you a ton of money if you just hear me out and understand what I'm trying to convey to you guys. Anyway, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's dive into it. Now, I own Superverse, and I am extremely bullish on Superverse, but I'm not a gamer. Well, guys, that doesn't really hurt me. I'm an investor, and I follow the money. And think about it, guys. I flipped a lot of real estate, and if you were going to flip your first piece of property, would you go listen to your buddies who think they know how to flip properties, or would you listen to a millionaire, someone that has flipped countless properties? Well, I would listen to that millionaire. But guess what? If a billionaire said, hey, let me tell you how I do it, and if those two people don't, are not in agreement, the billionaire's strategy is going to override the millionaire. Well, guys, that's the point I'm trying to make about gaming. There's insiders. There's founders of these games. There's lead developers that have been in gaming forever. Well, when they tell me something, I want to hear them out. And if you understand crypto is about hype. This bull run is not a utility bull run. Superverse might not make it. It might not be around in 10 years. People may have never heard of it 10 years from now. But for this bull run, this is a massive project from the insiders and the who's who of Web3 gaming. And once you understand that, it will help you decide which project you want to put your money into. The probabilities of these 3 projects doing extremely well are about as high as it gets in gaming. Now, gaming is more risky than buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, and say HBAR and Quant. They're all going to do well, but they're not going to give you that 25, 50, hopefully 100x type of returns. But what is the projects that are hyped up by like the big influencers and have a great social buzz, right? Think about a game. Let's say a game comes out tomorrow that you absolutely love and you think it's the best game out there. Well, if the big influencers don't pick up on it, or Wall Street doesn't start putting their money into that ecosystem, that game will not make it. It may make it as a game, but the token's not going to pump. So you got to understand that. Now, why am I so bullish on these three projects? That's what we're going to dive into. But guys, this thought process conveys about every sector in crypto. You want to dive into the probability and compare every single project that you decide to get into of every sector. Compare the probability of that project pumping. That's what I'm betting on. I'm not betting on what's going to rule the world 10 years from now. Outside of Bitcoin, I will not own not one single project when this bull run is over. I'm going to hopefully short sell everything when this bull run's over, and then I'll start stacking again for the preceding bull run. And the odds are every token, or 95% of the tokens that I am extremely bullish in for this bull run, I might not stack in the next bear market. Anyway, guys, hit that like button if I haven't said that, and let's dive into it. Now, Superverse I own, and I've been waiting to find out the news about how Superverse has changed it. They revamped everything about Superverse, and it's Ellio with Ellio Trades. Guys, go to his website, his channel, and watch this video, my favorite crypto project for 2024. That's Ellio Trades. Listen to that video. Now, here's the deal about Superverse. All right, there's a project out there called Neo Tokyo. Now, guys, think about this. That is at least 100, if not thousands, of the who's who that are building out all these games that we know and love, all these projects. It's the developers, the founders, the lead developers. Well, they've came together in Neo Tokyo. Well, they came up and said, look, here's what we need to do. It's not one against the other. It's like, look, if you're going to start a football league, you have to have an infrastructure. You have to have stadiums and backers and things like that. Well, that's what Superverse is to Neo Tokyo. So you have Elliot, who can make one video and 2 or 3x a token before that video's even finished. Alex Becker, people like that. Now, I know a lot of people have bad things to say about those guys. They're insiders. They manipulate. They front run. They dump on their communities. Whatever. Well, guys, that's the game. This is a big boy game. You can't blame an insider for front running their own project. And if you understand that they do that, well, hopefully you'll understand how to capitalize on it. And that's what we're going to talk about. But now, the number one reason I am bullish on Superverse, Neo Tokyo, and the BYTES token, which is 3 projects, is because of exactly what I just said. They are the insiders. They are the who's who. They are the people that are changing the world. They are bringing Web 3, right, pay to earn and all that stuff into crypto. Now, here's how smart these guys are. And guys, most of them are millionaires. And some of them are, worth 10 million, 20 million, probably even a couple of them $100 million. And that sounds like a lot of money to the average person. But think about this, guys. Here's one thing I know to be true. And this is not financial advice. But, I used to work for Bear Stearns. And at the time, they were as powerful as Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. So I've been behind the scenes. And I know that Wall Street and the governments, primarily the U.S. government and the central banks, are coming for crypto. And in 10 years from now, they will dominate probably 90% of everything that we thought was going to be decentralized and dominated by people like Vitalik. You know, when I first got into crypto, I thought people like Vitalik were going to be the new Jamie Dimons. I thought people would not launch like an IPO on the stock market. I thought they would do ICOs and have a token instead of the stock. Wow, was I wrong. And even with my background, I missed the boat on that. Well, now I totally understand it. And the guys in Neo Tokyo, they understand that as powerful as they are right now, they are still early. And you're going to have players like Atari and Sony and some of the big institutions of the world that dominate Web 2, and they're going to roll into Web 3. They can hire 1,000 developers like in a day. So they understand that, first of all, before they can compete against each other, they got to build that infrastructure, but they also understand that they got to stick together to outrun and outperform the big boys when they get here. So with that understanding, you got to think, okay, in gaming, throughout this bull run, all these influencers, all these founders, all these lead developers can move a market, and they're going to join their resources together in their project and in the ones like Superverse that they are kind of all pushing forward together. Now think about this, guys. What really moves a market is hype. Big influencers can consistently pump a token. So let's just use Superverse. Now this is speculation, but follow the money and follow the who's who and the insiders that are moving markets, right? So think about this. If Ellio does a video on Superverse, that's going to bring a lot of new retail money into Superverse. Well, if he does 20 videos in the next 2 years, Superverse is going to continually pump, in my opinion. Well, then you got Alex Becker going to talk about Superverse, say 20 times. It's going to pump Superverse and any other project they pump. All these guys can move a market, and they're going to be talking about Superverse because Superverse is in their best interest. Now, what is the new revamped Superverse? Well, I'm not going to get into all the crazy cool things that it is bringing to the infrastructure, but what it wants to be is the gaming token. And guys, a lot of these players in these games have agreed to use Superverse as that gaming token, and I'm going to prove that to you as we go through this video. Now stick with me, we're going to look at the charts at the end. Now if you're not familiar with Superverse, go to superverse.co, surf around, get familiar with it. That's one project that I want to bring to your attention. Now the second project, and also go to their website and go to their Twitter account. And now while I'm looking at it, guys, see that inspect button? Not to get sidetracked, but that's one of my favorite projects, that layer 2 that's going to scale crypto into Twitter. Go check out. I think inspect is a sleeper. Anyway, go to Superverse Twitter account, surf around, get familiar. Now also go to the blog of Neo Tokyo. Surf around and see what they're trying to do as a group. And I believe you'll be as bullish as I am, and you'll start to understand the game. Now, check this out, guys. These are some of the members of Neo Tokyo. This little chart shows which project that they are affiliated with. Check it out. Nakamoto Brands. Guys, that is one of the biggest funds that back project in all of crypto. Seedify, Mutable X, Alluvium, those guys have joined Neo Tokyo. Nakamoto, let's see, Ultra, Veracity. Guys, it goes on and on. These are the who's who, and they're all getting behind Superverse. Anyway, go to Neo Tokyo, and I know I'm rambling, but just hear me out, guys. There's going to be a lot of alpha. Nakamoto Games, go to their website, get familiar, right? That's Alex Becker, one of Alex Becker's projects. And we know that if Alex Becker pumps a project for, 20 videos in the next 2 years, this thing's going to rip. Now, there's 3 projects that I want to bring to your attention, right? Superverse, now it launched in 2021. It did immensely well, and it pumped again at the end of the year, and then it died. Well, now it's starting to wake up, but it's still crazy early. Now, in my opinion, this old high it's gonna be changing gears when it takes out that old high, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does a 3 or 4x above, not in addition, but 3x past that all-time high. Now, Nakamoto Games, check out this. Check out this chart. Did the same thing, guys. It launched at the end, at the worst time. If it would have launched probably 6 months earlier in the last bull run, it would have probably did 3 or 4x higher than its all-time high. But look how it pumped. It pumped again. And yeah, a lot of people go, well, everyone just dumped. Okay, but most charts look like this. But again, it reactivated at the end of last year when that little gaming, buzz started and gaming started getting hyped up. Well, of course, they took their profits, but now it's pulling back. And see, that's what I see, guys, and I say this with love. People get hyped up, and when projects start to pump, they FOMO in, right? They started buying here. And now that it's pulled back, Neo Tokyo is not a good project. I'm not going to buy it. You buy low and you sell higher. Guys, do you think that gaming's not going to roll back around? Gaming is probably going to be the sector that leads this bull run. In my opinion, it's going to be gaming, and I'm talking about big returns. When I say lead the bull run, it's going to lead the probability of your wallet expanding the most. It's going to be gaming, AI, and GameFi, in my opinion. Now, so Nakamoto Games is primed to start dollar cost averaging in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. Now, those guys that are in part of Neo Tokyo, BYTES is kind of like their staking token. Look at the spike, guys. And it just launched in the beginning of last year. It hasn't experienced a bull run, not even close. Look at this pump, guys. Now, yeah, everyone took profits because for some reason gaming hype just died. But that's how the smart money does. And that's something that I want to bring to you guys' attention. You could have took profits any time during this pump. And if nothing else, think about the smart money. And this is what I teach in my coaching. And we'll talk about that at the end. If you bought BYTES anytime last year, right, and you caught this pump, you could have pulled out your initial investment. And now you have another bag that's bigger than the bag you started with, but you have zero risk. But most people don't take profits because they think this is going to keep pumping and keep pumping. Well, that's going to happen in the next bull run. This thing's going to rip just like everything else, and people are not going to take their profits. And guys, I see it 9 out of 10, probably 9.9 out of 10 of all my coaching clients have been through a bull run. Some have been through 3 and don't have anything to show for it. And they've taken a small amount of money and turned it into a large amount of money, sometimes life-changing money. They didn't take the profits because they didn't understand the game. And I say that with love, but I don't want it to happen to you. If you don't take profits, you'll become the profits. But anyway, guys, hopefully you'll start to understand what I'm talking about. In crypto, there are people to listen to and people that understand the game. The game is not necessarily the best game, right? It's about the best game that gets the most hype and gets the influencers behind it, and they start moving the token. If the influencers don't get behind it, the game could be the biggest game in the world, and you're wondering why the token didn't pump. Well, people didn't get behind it. Well, think about this. The people in gaming that could have pumped that token, maybe they are not affiliated with it. Maybe they don't have any money. None of their bags have that particular game. It's not part of, say, Neo Tokyo or any of the big influencers. Well, it's probably not going to do well. So again, guys, if you're looking for the best probability in gaming, start with these 3 projects. Now, I'm not telling you to FOMO into them, but they're all setting at a good point to start dollar cost averaging in. Follow the money, guys. Follow the insiders, the movers, the shakers of gaming, and that is these 3 projects. And that's the same throughout crypto. A lot of people hate it when I say follow the money. That Wall Street, the governments, primarily the U.S. government, and the central banks are going to pick winners and losers. And guys, whether you like J.P. Morgan or not, when they get into an ecosystem and start stacking, think about it, guys. Think about my money, your money, and everyone that's ever going to watch this channel. If we put our life savings into it, it won't equal the first dollar cost average to a major Wall Street hedge funds. They'll start buying 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, 10 billion, 100 billion. If they want a project to pump, just like the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, guys, do you understand that the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, and I know I'm getting on my high horse, but let me rant, because hopefully you'll get some alpha. Whether we like it or not, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance is like JP Morgan, IBM, Accenture, Google, Microsoft. They went around the world and said, hey, all their customers, hey, you need to stack this ecosystem. You want to build in crypto? Build on Ethereum. Why? Because they have vested interest. They stake Ethereum, whether we like it or not. So to think another layer 1 is going to come in that we think is 10 times better, 10 times faster, or whatever, is going to outperform Ethereum as far as getting market share from Wall Street, it's not going to happen. Now, it may happen in 10 years. We'll find out which project, say, for instance, is the Ethereum killer. But, guys, I invest bull run to bull run, and there is no Ethereum killer in this bull run, right? Ethereum is not losing market share. Some people are taking from Ethereum right now, and people are jumping ship, to faster layer 1s that are cheaper or whatever, but that doesn't offset the new projects that are coming into Ethereum's ecosystem. You can take the next, say, top 10 layer 1s and add all their ecosystem together. It doesn't equal Ethereum. So guys, understand, doesn't matter what me and you like. It matters what the smart money likes. It matters which influencers are pumping projects. That being said, guys, please understand, if you don't take profits, you'll become the profits. Now, I'm going to say one last thing about taking profits. Now, when the FOMO starts, and no matter what project you're in, understand this. If the project is pumping hard, that means the whales and the smart money and the institutional money has got involved in that project 9 times out of 10. Now, they can't sell under normal circumstances. We can dump our bags at any time, get full liquidity. Well, Bitcoin's going to have to be hitting an all-time high when you need to unload $50 billion, right? Ethereum, same thing. So in the height of this bull run, when you're like, oh my God, it's just going up and up and up, understand where you're putting in your little pocket change, $10,000, even $100,000 into a project, that is nothing. You got people who are going to be on the other side that have put $100 million in, and they want to get their $500 million, $100 million of profit out. Well, they're going to be dumping when the FOMO is at its peak. And you're going to have these influencers telling you, keep buying, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And then when it's all said and done, guess who's going to have made the most money? The smart money, the institution, the whales, the big influencers. They're going to be online, and I'm not ragging on influencers because a lot of them are good, but 90% of them don't have a clue, in my opinion. And they're going to be telling you, buy Solana, buy Solana. Let's say Solana's at $700. Buy the dip. Well, they won't be buying the dip. I promise you that. They're going to be selling. So you either understand the game, understand the manipulation, or you don't. Anyway, guys, I say that with love. I know I need a filter, but I watched that video today and I just realized some influencers just don't have a clue. They think that the best project with the best tech is going to win. Well, guys, I got news for you. If Wall Street doesn't have a piece of that pie, and I mean a big piece of that pie, that project is not going to take market share from Wall Street. And it doesn't matter if we're talking DeFi projects, real world assets, cross-border payments. It doesn't matter. They will dominate every single sector when it's all said and done. And you're going to be able to link every single project to Wall Street or to a government or to a central bank. And no matter what anyone tells you, they just don't understand the real world. It's like all the crazy stuff with BRICS right now. Guys, BRICS are not going to do anything to the US dollar in this bull run. Maybe 20 years from now, 50 years from now, BRICS has changed the game. Maybe the US dollar's not the world currency. Maybe it's Bitcoin. But I'm not going to bet against the underdogs, right? The part of the world that can't compete with America. And whether you like to hear that or not, guys, it's your money. Anyway, guys, that's all the alpha I got from this rant. Hopefully you appreciate it. I don't mean to step on anyone's toes, but I see it every day. Why I take it so personally when I see influencers lie. Guys, one thing to look at for influencers, if they never tell you the downside to a project, right? I love HBAR. I immensely love HBAR. But I talked about the tokenomics and how I got past those tokenomics. One thing about HBAR, for instance, that's different than most projects, when those when they have unlocks or they dump, guys, they throw that back into the ecosystem. 9 out of 10 projects, when you get dumped on or when the tokenomics change abruptly, they put that in their bank account. Or if it's a corporation like, say, Ripple, they put it in their bank account. They don't put it back in the ecosystem. HBAR does that. And why I got on that rant, I don't know. But anyway, guys, if you need some help with your portfolio and understanding how and when to take profits, I do one-on-one coaching. It's only $250 for 3 phone calls or Zoom calls. And if you want some more information, I'll leave a link down below and I'll pin my email in the comment section. Reach out. I think it's great value. But either way, guys, remember this. If you don't take profits, you'll become the prophet. And if you don't understand the game, well, guys, good luck. Stack some good solid bags like HBAR, Quant, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Cut off your computer, come back in 6, 7, 8 months and start dollar cost averaging out. It's really that simple if you want to be that guy. And I get it. Most people aren't full-time into crypto. But if you are full-time and you want to get aggressive and you're going to jump into projects like gaming, understand the game. Anyway, guys, I say all that with love. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that like button. Share with like-minded people. But either way, come back and be part of this community. And really, let me know in the comment section what you think about what I've said and about these 3 projects. All right, guys, that's all I got. Take care.